I got something to say. I got something to say. We all got something to say. Speak up, stand up, wake up, get down. Everybody in the world know you feel. Speak a little more love in this place. I got something to say.
Listen, y'all, I don't know what's going on. We having a rough time tonight. Mimi is frozen, so we're waiting on her to come back in, and my mic was muted. So anyway, let me start back over. Thank you for coming to us and joining us on another night of In the Chair with Montee and Mimi. As we're hoping that Mimi will jump back in a few seconds. Hopefully she's coming back in. So anyway, what's up, y'all? What's up? Can I get some what's ups over here in the chat box? Taz, what's up, Taz? What's up? I hope you can hear me now, Taz. Hopefully Taz can hear me. What's up, Mimi? You came in and you came in and shook him a little bit.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Child, ain't much to shake, so it might be some other stuff shaking and it overflowed up here.
So listen, good evening, Linda. I hope you can hear me. Taz said that he couldn't hear me. Lavita, what's up? So listen, Mimi, I saw you.
Yeah.
I saw you a couple of hours ago. Let me say that. I was at the salon. I had a client that I had to stop by and do real quick. What's up, Mimi?
Ain't nothing.
Ain't nothing.
Getting ready for this drinking season.
Oh, it's the drinking season. What you serving us, girl? What you serving?
I'm doing just a bunch of
something is going on. You doing a bunch of what?
I said a bunch of fabulousness.
A bunch of red nails, red lip.
Yeah.
Everything is red today.
I feel red hot and spicy.
Oh, red and hot and spicy.
Yeah.
So listen, how's your week been?
My week has been it's been interesting.
Interesting.
It's been interesting. I had a lot of new things happening, some things I'm ending. I'm no longer at MGM. It's okay. I gave him 5 years. I just realized I'm not an employee. I'm not employee material. I'm just not. And it's nothing wrong with my employees. Shout out to all my employees out there. It's nothing wrong with that. I just know that's not my thing. I'm an entrepreneur, period. So met with somebody this morning, getting my website together for my, the drinks and the parties, and how we going all the way high tech. We just doing I'm excited about some things that's happening right now.
Oh my gosh. So listen, I'm super excited for you, Mimi. Anytime that someone can take another step into entrepreneurship or another step in a career change, it takes a lot in doing that. So I applaud you. I applaud you as you are building things. I saw on your Facebook page you were looking for a web designer. So I'm super excited to see what's going to happen. I told you I had one for you, but you'd already beat me to the punch. But
Child, it's all right because you can always have some backups. You never know.
Listen, my graphic designer, Torian, I cannot shout him out enough. I mean, he did the graphics for our show. He did the graphics for my nonprofit. He does the graphics for our church. He does the graphics for a lot, and he is.
Well, I'm gonna need him as well.
Yes.
I'm gonna need him as well. I mean, you can never have, because when I say I'm going all the way. I'm going top notch with everything. I'm going all the way in. There is no plan B. This is it.
Taz says it's never too late to make your dreams a reality. I totally agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Says, congratulations. I'm saying congratulations to you. I am happy in any way that I can support you. Y'all, let me tell y'all this. I got another donation from MiMi this week. Y'all don't understand. I'll be happy when the thing beep, and I look and I'll be like, oh, that's MiMi. MiMi done paid her tithes to the nonprofit again.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And then not only MiMi, I mean, there's been others that have been contributing. And so I want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I need to take a pause because I see my girl Ricky on here. And MiMi, Ricky is so special to me. When I say, she has a boy named Ricky, but Ricky is so special to me. Ricky was one of the key people that helped raise my kids. She used to watch all the time when I lived in Texas. I mean, I could depend on Ricky to make some green beans and some chicken for them kids, and she would cook for my kids, pick them up from school, a couple of other women. And Ricky has been always so special to my heart. Ricky was a young lady that suffered from kidney failure.
Oh.
She was doing dialysis for years. And so God blessed her to receive a kidney a few years ago. And she is still with us. Because, a lot of times body will reject things and things of that nature. So shout out to you, Ricky. I love you. Thank you so much for being here and watching the show. I love you, girl. So my week has been interesting. When I say my week has been interesting, it's been very, 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 very interesting and tiresome. This week has been a little rough, tiresome. I have a lot of things going on. The nonprofit, church, work here, work in the salon, still trying to top some loose ends. Girl that texted and got me, trying to figure out how I'm gonna pay these people.
You will.
Bills, oh yeah, most definitely.
Absolutely.
So it has been a rough, tough week. Not rough, tough, but new job responsibilities at
Challenging.
work. Challenging. I like that word, challenging.
Yes.
My boss is going on vacation today. Her and my girl Kim. So both of my boss Kim and my boss Elena and Kim are my girls at work, right? And so they leaving me, girl. They are leaving me for 2 weeks.
Sorry.
2 weeks.
You got
2 weeks.
You
So
got this.
yeah. I got it. I ain't worried about it. So listen, there's been a lot of stuff going on, girl.
You ain't never lied.
It's a lot of stuff going on. It is a lot of stuff going on in the world. And one of the things that I want to talk about, well, first of all, I don't know if you remember. Well, I know you remember, but the conversation that we had last week, I want to start there. The conversation we had last week concerning
with the pastor. Yes, Lord.
With the pastor last week. And I know that, our producer, he'll just follow suit, and Brandon and Josiah. Well, Brandon today, Brandon's over here. And so shout out to him because he does an awesome job.
Yes, he does.
He is awesome.
Child, if it was up to me, child, they would just be seeing our face. It would be nothing.
Right. You see all this stuff flying across the bottom, pictures flying up. They'd be like, okay, so wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find it. So anyway,
you ain't lying.
Last week we talked about this pastor, Dwayne Dawkins. I had to look over that. Dwayne Dawkins, Pastor Dawkins. And, Pastor Dawkins had gotten caught, with a same-sex lover.
With his pants down.
Yeah. As Pastor Dawkins is married and has 3 children, he got caught with another individual, with another same-sex person, another male. And so, we talked about it last week because we were saying that, the church doesn't give you a platform for you to be your authentic self, to come out and to live in your truth. And, and surprisingly, MiMi was on the side of saying, yeah, I think that, they should have a platform. Everybody should be able to be, authentic and be themselves.
Child, I've been saying that from day one.
Yeah, but MiMi, I really was looking for you to really, really go in on him and be like,
Why?
I don't know. because everybody has a
No,
different perception.
see, people don't listen to me. A lot of folks be like, "Oh, she just sound like church people." If you church folk know, I don't like it. Those that but I'm not talking about church folk. It's a difference between church folk and people of God, people that are actually striving and trying to do, what they feel God wants them to do, being good to people, not judging, not being nasty, actually treating people the way they want to be treated. That's what I'm talking about the people opposite of that, the people that are judgmental, that only do stuff when do the right thing when everybody looking. Those are church folk I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So this man is, he's a homosexual, and that's what he want to do. Sugar, don't do your thing. Do it. Because
So
my thing is,
listen,
I don't have a heaven or a hell to put nobody in.
so coming from someone that was outed, and I know that a lot of people think, were you ever in the closet? I was. So someone that like me that was outed, by friends or people that I thought that was my friends whenever I married Jacoby, and things of that nature. Um, Coming from someplace like that and understanding his pain and things, I get it. I
Yeah.
understand where I thought in my mind where I thought that he was, but girl, he wasn't where I thought he was. Because he came back and said that he was going to sue some people because that really wasn't him.
Yeah, I don't know. So I can't say if that was. It looked like him that was saying that he gonna sue folks. It looked like him, but
And so my thing is, okay, sir, it was you. Let's be honest. The video was very clear. Didn't nobody Photoshop your head on no video and put you there getting fellatio from another man, and then for you backdooring another man. Didn't nobody do that to you? You
it
did that.
wasn't that sophisticated of a production for
It
folk
was
to be swapping heads and stuff. Yeah,
no, no,
it
no,
was.
no, no, no. So then here's the thing. Here's the thing. You now have an opportunity to live in your truth. It may not feel good. It may
He
not
ain't
feel.
ready.
But my thing is, you have the opportunity to live in your truth. Now, can I truthfully tell you that it's going to be easy to live in your truth? No, it will not be easy for you to live in your truth. However, you have been given an opening. Chad says you can't sue for mediocre sex. So what you what since you have this platform now, my thing is why not help others? There are so many pastors within the last 3 years that have committed suicide, and that's true. So many people have, so many pastors have committed suicide. Pastors have left their wives. Pastors have left the church because they didn't have the support system that they needed. They did not. And so my thing is, you have the opportunity now to provide a support system for others that are dealing with sexual
Right.
identity. And you have the opportunity now to create a platform and to speak to these individuals that may have been experiencing things like you or are still experiencing things and still trying to find their way. Still
Right.
realizing that God loves you regardless of what you're doing. There is no greater sin. I can't say that enough.
Hmm.
There is no greater sin. So my thing is, why not use the platform that you have right now and do the right thing instead of come back and
Because he's not ready.
you're not ready, but then
He's not ready.
you come back and you have your congregation now sending hate mail out and sending hatergrams and Facebook posts that are promoting hate against the homosexuals and things of that nature. So it's crazy. Awkwardly reels his weight. So he's suing himself because I seen the video and I know him that is lost, definitely him. But let me drink my water and mind my own business. Awkwardly real. That he said ain't him. He says it ain't him. However, it really, really, really looks like him, Mimi. It really, really, really did. The only thing that's
Mhm.
missing was them glasses that he wear. Everything else was there.
Child, I remember that it was a long time ago. Long, 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 long time ago. That VHS tape that came out of R. Kelly when he said that wasn't him. And it
When he
was
peed on
him.
that little girl,
Yeah. Huh?
when he peed on the little girl.
Yeah, when he did all kind of nasty stuff. When he was talking about that ain't him. I'm like, boy, this shit. Stop playing.
Ah, somebody that was just up on the screen, I couldn't read her name, Levita. Levita
Levita,
said,
yeah, but he's not. But the same thing. He's not. He ain't ready. He's not
he's not
ready. He not, and
Taz,
he going to deny it, and he's not
woo,
ready.
Lizzie. Taz says, just help others walk in theirs. He has a platform and the following. Have the hard conversation with the wifey and walk in it. Who knows? Maybe this happened for an opportunity to come into fruition. I totally agree. I think
I
that
agree.
every-
However, he's not ready,
he
so
ain't
it
ready.
don't. He not. He ain't
Right.
ready.
Look, it's just because he was exposed doesn't make him ready. I have to agree. I often use my story, and I said that, whenever I was outed and then, well, when I was outed for marrying a man, they sent the picture to my mama. And I was like, Mama girl, that ain't what that is. Like she didn't know that was me kissing a man on the picture, but I denied it. So I get where he is, but I never came back and said, oh, I'm gonna sue somebody because they talking about me.
Well, you can't because he gonna be there at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Your
Right.
shit's a little different.
Like I seen him in the glory before he can't lie to me. Oh, awkwardly real say he even seen him in the glory before he can't lie to me.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just I don't know. If he ain't got footage, I mean, you just gotta take his word for it.
We don't want to see no more footage with me. We didn't see enough.
Uh-uh. That was. Oh
No,
Lord, that's something.
it was. I
That
want to say
was-
to Pastor Dawkins, if he's watching, or anybody that's associated with him that's watching, sir, I hear you and I support you and I'm praying for you. Because my goal for you, my wish or my prayer for you is that you would be comfortable enough to be able to live in your truth and help others walk in theirs. I realized, Mimi, what I did realize about me being exposed, that it created
Mhm.
another platform that is really not talked about in Lubbock, Texas, but it freed a lot of homosexuals. It freed a lot of same gender loving people, and it also
Mhm.
freed a lot of people that are married with wives to live in their truth. I'm gonna leave it right there.
But I had two uncles that were homosexuals. They both passed away. But one in particular had a beautiful wife, two children, but he was a homosexual, and back in that day it was not it was unheard of, and he kept that's like he lived in a closet for a very, very long time. He ended up, you know, living in that closet, back in that day, he contracted AIDS and he died in 93. So it's a lot, it's still a huge negative stigma attached to it. And when we stop being so judgmental and just operate in love, folks will start they will have the confidence and to walk in their truth. But right now, it don't feel good, and nobody, I don't care who you are, don't nobody want to do nothing that don't feel good.
You're absolutely don't nobody wants to be put in a place to where they don't feel good about themselves or feel
And not
comfortable in
supported. And he
right.
feel like he's gonna lose his children. He
Mhm,
could probably live with losing, the wife, but the children and the
mhm.
respect of his community where he built, as far as his church, because the thing is, if he's probably still an effective man of God because God can use anybody, you
Right.
know. He probably can still teach and preach and all that good stuff, but he wasn't ready to be, he wasn't comfortable enough to share his, his what he preferred sexually.
It's funny you mentioned that because I had a conversation with a pastor on last week, and we were having a conversation, and he had went through a situation to where his ministry had got kind of tarnished because of some of his actions. And so we were having this conversation, and he was just like, "You just don't understand that I would go out to restaurants and I would sit down and I would literally hear people talking about this pastor, which it was him, and he was like, they were having discussion about, oh my God, did you hear about this pastor? Did you hear this? Did you hear this? Did you hear this? And he said it made him feel so bad about himself. And it really, really hurt him in a way to where he had to go to counseling. And he said, so what I started doing was I started showing up late to places because I felt like that would give me time enough for me to miss all the talk that was about me. It really
That's
mentally.
the thing. I need people to know people are gonna talk about you regardless. I
They
don't care
are.
what you do. They're
They
gonna
are.
talk about you. You cannot control that. You need to I just pray that everybody gets to a point where they don't care what
And
people
that's
say.
what to get to, Mimi. There was a comment that I wanted to read
Yeah.
from came up a few minutes ago, his last comment. But it's a hard place to be in. Taz says if he's not ready, it's understandable. He can deny it until he's ready, but it doesn't stop him from ministering and understanding, even in opening his doors to the LGBTQIA members. I totally agree. But this is the thing, Taz. Whenever, even if he doesn't even openly say that, hey, yeah, that was me on this video, that was me. If he never openly says that, if he never ever creates a platform for him, anybody that ever comes in contact with him or comes to their church, people will associate him with that just because there's been a video out there. So now any man that he's by himself with, or he goes to dinner with, they see him in the mall together, or anything of that nature, they're gonna always say, "Oh, Pastor Dawkins getting that too." That they both together. I mean, that's just the mentality of people. And unless it's a strong dude that's with him, it's gonna cause some of his friends to step away from him. And that's just the reality. Because
Yeah.
everybody that they don't want that stigma. Everybody doesn't want to be labeled as being gay, or they can't handle being labeled even bisexual. That's the reason why you have so many heterosexual men, or the men that claim to be heterosexual,
Yeah, I was about to
that,
say, yeah.
that have a problem with homosexuals. Because if they, or the LGBTQIA community, because if they are
What's the
seen talking,
IA for? I know that's a whole nother question.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all can stop adding all them damn letters. Just stop at T.
I don't want to tell you wrong. So we're gonna go to Google. Brandon's gonna find it
Mm,
for us. Um, Brandon says he has a clip that he wants to play. Go ahead and play the clip, Brandon.
mm,
I know I'm scared.
Brandon ain't gonna play nothing crazy. He ain't
It's
gonna
an
play
old
that.
clip of him. Let's hear it. Let's see it.
There may be homosexuals and lesbianism in your family line, but it's not normal.
We both looking like, play
What?
that again.
There may be homosexuals and lesbianism in your family line, but it's not normal.
So that's my problem. You up preaching, talking about there may be homosexuals and lesbians in your bloodline, but that's not normal. But then here it is, you getting fellatio.
But because he has to play the role, because um you have a lot of you have a lot of other pastors, because I've asked you this before, how the heterosexual pastors, do they sit with you, proudly, on panels or whatever, because you are an openly gay man
Some do and
or
some
openly bisexual, whatever, no label or no label at all, whatever.
I mean, some are opening and some are open to accept my sexuality, but it doesn't mean
Hmm.
they still don't condemn me. I had this conversation I think it was today or yesterday, and we were talking about, my mother, because
Mhm.
she is who she is in the church, and because she loves the Lord. Then one would say, how is your mom part of a denomination that really, really downplays homosexuals or says that homosexuals are going to hell? And then her son is a reverend and is a homosexual. How does
Because
she?
you her damn son and she
Right.
loved you, period.
Right, but how does she support my ministry? How does she say, "Oh, preach, Lamont," or "You're doing it," or "I accept who you are," or how does one do that whenever they are taught that God hates homosexuality?
But
How
I thought that God don't hate nothing.
Jay
That he love everybody.
Jay Key says Eddie Long preached against it and marched with them. So the thing about it is, Mimi, God is love, right?
Yeah,
And so
that's what I think. But see, that's the thing. That's what I say. It's tricky because everything is open to interpretation. You can
Mhm,
say what you think it means, but everybody can read one scripture and get a
mhm,
different meaning from it. So you
mhm.
can't say that this one is wrong and this one is right. That's their truth. That's what they got from it.
Mhm, mhm.
You can say what that's what they meant by it. You don't know what they meant by it because you weren't there.
Right,
And
right.
that's my problem that I have with a lot of
People,
church folk. Yeah.
church folks. And so my thing is, we have used scriptures to condemn people or to make people feel less than or not relevant in a place or to cause people. I really wish that there was a poll that could be taken.
Okay, here we
So
go. Lesbian, gay,
no,
bisexual,
gay, bisexual,
trans.
transgender, intersex, and
What is
asexual.
intersex? And asexual, do that mean you just ain't doing nobody?
No, asexual means, let's look it up because I
Yeah,
want
because that's what I think it means.
that's what you think it means, asexual?
Yeah.
Asexual meaning not involving sexual activities, feelings, or associations, non-sexual. Not involving the fusion of gametes. A person who has no sexual feelings or desires or who is not sexually attracted to anyone.
Well, shoot, that's me a couple months out of every year.
So that's what you're gonna start saying? I'm
Sure,
asexual.
but I'm part of the community. They ain't even know. It's
The
a whole
intersex
lot of folk that ain't doing nothing.
combination of male and female biological traits. There are several different intersex conditions. So is it like a morphodite? Hermaphrodite?
Hermaphrodite.
Yeah. So they have both.
Well, they born with both. They born with both parts.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no,
Combination of
it's
both male biological traits. Hmm. Interesting. We should have a show about
yeah,
that.
because that's I'm confused as hell.
So we're gonna do that. We're gonna develop a show about
Mhm.
around defining it and breaking it down so people can understand. Because I need to understand some more of it. There's some things that confuse me about it. But back to your question, to are people open to accepting it? I think that people are open, but then it still comes with the stigma. If you accept Lamont too much, then I'm questioning you.
Mhm.
I'm questioning you. If you
Because
you
I'm guilty of it's a I'm guilty. This pastor in Clinton is a couple years ago. I ain't gonna say his name, but yeah, that thing went to Capitol Hill to march for gay marriage, and I was looking at him side eye. I was like, mm-hmm.
that just because he marched for somebody else's rights, you
I mean,
automatically.
I mean, I mean, it was some other indicators, but that one it sealed it for. I said, oh, okay. But I had to check myself because I'm like, bitch, you ain't nobody. You can't judge no damn body.
I think that if a lot of people would stand up for other people, maybe it would lower the suicide rate in the church.
Yeah, because my thing is, should nobody die because of how they feel or who they are?
Right.
They
Ni-
should know. Yeah, no.
Nikon says, I was told if you're gay, you have turned your back on God. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I definitely don't believe that. I think that some of our greatest artists in the church have been gay, and because they were not provided the platform to operate in their truth, that they died because of who they were trying to hide in being. Meaning, a lot of people didn't seek out help for, HIV, AIDS, or that when they got diagnosed because they were afraid that if people saw them picking up the medication, or
They
people
was
saw
keeping
them
it
at a
secret.
yeah, if people saw them at a clinic, then everybody was going to know and they were going to be outed. And I find that still to be true in some
Yeah.
churches today. I'm just blessed to be able to go to an inclusive church. I'm blessed to be a part of, other ministries that are inclusive, that have bishops that are willing to say, hey, we want people over here that look like you. Um,
But you know
it's
what? It's true because I remember my aunt passed away. But I got a my family is they are special. I remember I had my uncle that passed in '93. When I say he was everybody's favorite, I mean, oh my God, he was just he was just like a giant beating heart. And I remember he did a reading for my cousin's wedding, but we hadn't seen him in a while, and you could tell clearly something was going on, because he was, when I say beautiful man, I mean an absolutely beautiful man, always very meticulous in his appearance, and you could tell that that his health had been was declining. But I remember my aunt said, well, he has AIDS, but he didn't catch it the bad way. I said, who the fuck do that mean? What you mean a bad way? Once you get your ass got it. Ain't no good way, bad way. Shit. But you have people that are very close minded that say stuff like that or
right.
think that way.
Taz says, I told my family, and all were accepting except one brother. He literally told folks I was not his brother. I told him what I eat don't make you. So you're missing out on knowing an amazing person. I hate that for you, Taz. I really, really, really do. Um, when that hurts, when someone will disown you because of who you love,
Yeah,
that's hurtful. So I want you to know, Taz, we love you here
yeah.
in the of Montee and MiMi. We love you and we here for you. And ain't nothing you can do about it. We are accepting it, and we want you to be happy. We want you to find somebody that you can love and invite us to the wedding. We coming, right, MiMi?
Oh yeah. I ain't trying
She
to.
told
Yeah, I love. And I will
volunteering.
say that I love gay. I love gay weddings. I really do.
She told me to stop inviting her to places, but I did just invite her to your wedding whenever you get one.
Shit, I would invite my own damn self. I ain't tell you not to invite me places. I ain't say that.
She said
I
stop
told you
inviting.
stop inviting people in our lives without planning it with me first.
So yes, I just Pastor Dawkins, I wish you well. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll be talking about this story as it develops because I think this is something that's ongoing.
Child, this thing is gonna be squashed and they're gonna move on to something else.
You
I
think so?
promise you. Yep. I do.
Really?
Yeah. It's gonna be squashed until it can't be squashed no more.
Awkwardly Real says, honestly speaking, my dad is a pastor and got on his church radio and said he has 2 kids and denied me. So I really get how the church is really hypocritical.
Damn.
Awkwardly Real, listen, listen. It hurts. I have other friends that have pastors as fathers, and they talk about how their pastor, their dad, disowned them too. That's not my story. However,
Yeah.
we're here for you as well. I want you to know, um, it's one of those things. Straight or gay. If I don't like your partner, I don't like him. I get it, Nikki. I get it. I mean, it's one thing to have somebody that you just don't like, but don't like them because they're gay. That's
Yeah.
craziness. No, that's craziness. And I'm just blessed to be in a time in my life to where I'm like Mimi. It's not that I don't care, but I don't care enough to let it bother me. I
Yeah.
care, but I don't care enough for it to affect my decision on how I'm going to live my life.
Right,
That
right.
that I don't care. And then funny thing is I was having a conversation today with um with an individual, Jacoby. We were having a conversation today on via phone, and it was so weird because we were able to talk about different aspects of our life now, and we were able to go back and reflect, and be able to like, do you remember when this happened, or you remember when this happened, or even now. I was telling him some of the things that I've experienced, and he was just like, "Oh, Lamont, just get ready. It gets worse." He was like, "It gets worse." And I was just like, "Oh, it gets worse than this." He was like, "Yeah, you know, just get ready." And so I think that with maturity, you come to find out that different people that you encounter are in your life for a reason and a season. But it doesn't
Yep.
mean that you have to let their opinions affect the decisions that you make for your life. I think it's really
Absolutely.
important that people get to that point. I told Brandon on yesterday, I said, I'm too big of a cheerleader to not to have a cheerleader. I cheer for
Yeah.
everybody. I cheer
Yeah,
for
you do.
everybody. I'm
Hmm.
always cheering. And it hurts sometimes that when I feel like I don't have a cheerleader for me. And so I was telling him, and it wasn't an attack on our friendship, but I was just using it in an overall setting. I cheer too hard for everybody not to have a cheerleader for me. And so, what does that look like? How does that look? That means that you need to redefine the people that you're surrounding yourself for. So, when you're cheering, they should be resting to cheer for you. And if they're
This is the
not resting,
thing.
you,
You need to realize that everybody is not deserving of your presence. Period.
mhm,
That's what that means. Long and short of it. So if you cheering and they don't cheer back for you, then they not your folks. Those not supposed to be the ones you're supposed to be around. So we have to be more selective of who we have in our space.
I agree. What's up, Africa? Thank you for joining. I think that also you need to realize you don't have to give everybody all of your energy.
Hell no.
What you drinking, Mimi?
I am. I done went into my wine fridge, and I have I'm drinking Cooper's Hawk red sangria.
Oh, I bet you that's pretty good.
It
Look at
is.
you. You're so fancy. Look at this court.
Yeah,
Yay.
I guess I have a mixologist. I better have the right tools over here.
I need one of those. I need one of
Okay,
those.
I'll get you one.
It says, how do you expect your blessings if you can't celebrate your friends' blessings and success? I totally agree. I totally agree. And so,
But some
um,
people just don't get it, and that's when you have to realize some people just not gonna get it. You ain't gonna make them get it, so you just gotta, sometimes you just gotta leave folk where they are. It's not
listen,
about being selfish. It's not about being selfish towards others. You're being selfish for you. Sometimes you got to keep some just for
because
you.
it's for all life, it's too short to give a F. I hear
Yeah.
you. And
Everybody
so,
need to get to that point, but it's not it's easy. I realize because I got to this point, and child, it's a wonderful place to be. But everybody is not ready. Everybody's not me. Everybody's not going to do things the way I do it.
mhm,
Everybody's not going to process the way I process. It's
mhm.
easier for me to walk away. It's easier for me to say fuck it, but everybody's not like me.
And I agree with you, Mimi. And then this is the other piece. Um, Never become an afterthought. Never become an afterthought. And what I mean by that, forgive yourself for people pleasing, and I move on. I
Yes.
listen. Thank you,
But
Africa.
that's a process as well.
That is a
That is a
process.
process as well, because a lot of us that have been abused early on, and that you
Mhm.
don't even realize you were groomed for abuse. And even though you think you're living well now, but you're accepting of some things because you don't realize that you were groomed for abuse, and that is not, you never really overcame that. So it's just abuse is just looking, it's just wrapped up in a different package,
Right. Nikan says the
but
sneeze
still
can
abuse.
days, but we all grow and move. I totally agree. I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and I was telling her it should never be that someone celebrates you after a moment, and they come back and think, "Oh, I should have." Don't be an afterthought. You don't
But
have
see,
to.
that's a hater. Really, what that is, that's a hater.
I
And you
don't
need to
know.
get them. No, that's what it is. I don't care how you cute it up. That's a hater. If somebody cannot celebrate, if they got to look at you, or they um they happy for you, but they don't want you to be more successful than them, it's a hater. It's just a different kind. It's levels to it.
Yeah.
It's levels
So
to it.
I think that we have to learn to celebrate people. Not only celebrate people,
It's,
but take time to celebrate yourself.
sometimes
Celebrate.
that's why I say sometimes you got to be your own damn cheerleader.
You
You
do.
got to
You
put your own daggone skirt and pom poms and get your Lizzo on and cheer for yourself.
oh, I mean the same. So Drayton says it's a process. I used to be jumping through hoops, but not no more. Listen, I get it.
Yeah,
Get it. I
because
get
you
it.
grow. Let me tell you something. Just like, remember what I said this on our earlier shows. A bitch is not born; she is made,
You have said
and
that.
that's because you get tired of constantly taking shit. And when folks tired of being a doormat, they're gonna stop fucking laying down. They're gonna stand up.
I hear you, Mimi. So can we get into something?
Oh,
Can
let's
we
get into it because I've been waiting.
let's
I've
get
been
in
waiting for this.
let's get into Will Smith.
Oh, I got so.
どうなんでしょうか。
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
ウィル・スミスにやられました。
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's
G.I. ジェーンの
name
ジョークだったん
out
で
your
す。
fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? I could, okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television.
テレビ史上最高の場面でしょうか。
So wait, listen. We used the Chinese version because they still had the cuss words in it. So we wanted everybody to get the full
Tell
effect.
everybody done heard the damn cuss, and it's been all over Facebook.
So Mimi, talk about it.
And I came on live as soon as it happened the next
You came on
morning.
live and talked about it.
Oh my God, yes. Yes, yes. Okay, on one hand, I thought that was the sexiest shit I seen. I'm gonna tell you why. See, everybody come from a different place. I come from a place where I never had nobody really protect me. And I
Uh-huh.
come from that childhood stuff.
Uh-huh.
So to have a man get up and don't give a damn what the consequences are, because he see that you hurt, because he was laughing at first.
Uh-huh.
But when he looked over and saw she wasn't fucking laughing, and the hurt in her eyes, and a little bit of it was, I got to go home with this bitch. So I better do something. That was, oh my God. He didn't care. He did not, in that moment, he did not care. But I'm gonna say this because I've been as it's we all know it's been all over every Facebook thread you could think of. We done seen all the memes, and I've had folks talking about, well, he ain't beat August Alsina's ass when he fucked his wife and, this and that. I said, yeah, but they have an open marriage, so he couldn't. It got out. It was messy, but he couldn't get mad because both of them, that's how they get down. Okay. It's just that she had messed up and got with somebody that had goals and aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with this situation, and I'm gonna say on the other side of this, as Black women, I can say we do put a lot of pressure on our men. We
Mm-hmm.
we put a lot of pressure on our men to protect us, and you better do something. You better, respect my, protect my honor, my virtue, and all that type of stuff. We
Mm-hmm.
we do. We put a lot of pressure on men, and as a bartender, most of the fights that have happened, that I've seen happen, if it was just men, nothing would have fucking happened when just the men. But when the women are there, because men have to feel, to the woman, they got to look like they are fucking Hercules and Superman. That's when it's gonna be escalated. I mean, that's my statement. I'm standing by.
So, couple of things. We had a couple of comments that came up. Drayton said, I joined in just for this. Taz said that, he was watching it. It went on YouTube within 10 minutes.
Oh
Um,
yes.
Africa, Africa says, yes, Mimi, panty dropping. He's still probably getting JPS cookies, Jada Pickett's cookies nonstop since Sunday.
Honey, you know what I said on my live? And this before I didn't even know Tiffany had it. She said it. I said, when I saw that, and the way that he stood up in front of the whole world, because that the Oscars is global. That ain't just the United States. I said, Jada sucked his dick from the back. She did. She did. She licked places he probably that he ain't even know he had.
Deshaun Thomas says, I think the laugh was more of you got kidding me. He tried to laugh it up. I don't think he was laughing at the joke. He knew that what she had been going through.
No, I think that was a genuine laugh because the joke was, now not that she not making fun of anybody with alopecia, but I didn't know that she had alopecia. I just thought because Jada is known to just
Cut her.
she do extreme stuff with her hair, and she rocks every look that she gives. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just thought she was like, shit, I'm tired of doing my damn hair, and shaved it off. That's what I thought. But
Right.
I mean, I can see how, but I mean, even alopecia aside, just the fact for me to have what I saw in that moment was a Black man defending a Black woman. That's it.
So Taz says Jada opened up out of alopecia in 2018 and talked about how insecure she felt, which is why Willow shaved her head. Okay. Um,
Okay, okay. I ain't denying it. I just probably missed that red table. I watched the other ones, but I missed that episode.
Africa says, my cousin made a great point. I really do feel like this was a very good live action example of mess around and find out. Chris Rock made the documentary Good Hair. So he should be more than aware that Black women and there have to have special significance, their hair, and have a special significance. I
Black women
get
are very sensitive about their hair. Very.
they
We know
are.
that being in this industry. Yeah.
What's up, Cupid? Yes, I do think that Black women are very sensitive about their hair, and I do think that the world has put this stigma on what hair should look like, good hair and what bad.
Absolutely.
I think that we as people, Cupid that just popped on has always had long hair. Now, one thing about Cupid has always wore her hair just slick back in a ponytail. When I say it's down her back, just slick back in a ponytail. That's all Cupid's going to ever wear. Slick back and in a ponytail, but she has beautiful, beautiful hair. But then for a Black woman that has a struggle ponytail, remember when they used to just wear the little
Oh, I
fan
know
and
about that.
when it used to just be a fan in high school?
Yeah, that fan that thing out, but those be the ones you better not say nothing about that
And I
ponytail because
said,
them heifers the strap.
Yeah, and especially if they had their ears were split. You know, them girls that had their ears
Yeah,
split.
because they always fighting.
You don't say nothing to them girls. Them girls that got
Hell
split ears.
no. They ain't never lost no fight. Like, nope. Mm-mm.
Taz says, and Chris has been making those jokes since 2018, and we'll check them privately. Everyone has their breaking point. So let's get into this. Let's dissect this a little more. I feel as though, like when you watch the video, you see it, and you see that Will was laughing in the beginning, and I think that was political. A lot of times we find ourselves in situations, and we have to laugh. We feel
Play it
like,
off, yeah.
yeah, we have to laugh. We're like, oh, and then he looked over at her, and she was just like,
She
and
was
so he,
hurt.
yeah, she was.
She was
And
humiliated.
I don't
Yeah.
even think that she was. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that Jada was hurt.
Oh, I think she was hurt.
She been through worse.
This the thing. You can go through something when it's a camera in your face. You don't want this is and this go back to our culture. This is a cultural thing. We you got so many we brought up. Don't look like what you going through. Don't let them see you sweat.
Mhm.
So even though somebody has hurt you, you're not going to let them know it. And then you're at the Oscars, you in this daggone $20,000 gown, and all eyes on the whole world is watching you. You're not going to try to show it, but she really couldn't even hide it then. She couldn't. She
Mm-mm.
could not hide it.
Deshaun says, I think she was mad. I think she was more so mad than hurt. I don't think that she
But
was
what's
hurt.
what's the difference?
There's a difference. Hurt is
No,
more so like, for
no,
me,
because sometimes when you mad because it does hurt you. You mad that you're affected by it because sometimes you think you're too strong to be affected by it, and somebody say some shit and it get under your skin and you mad. That don't mean you're not hurting, but you're mad. So you can
okay.
be both.
I'll give you that one. Taz says even Jada was smiling in the beginning, but he made it too personal, and the camera caught her hurt. Okay.
Well, I ain't
So
see her smile. Somebody got to show me that clip. I
she
need to
was la-
go.
she was
Oh,
laughing in the beginning, and then he when he did make it personal and said, Jada, I can't wait to see, and she kind of went to another place. And I don't think she was really, and then I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that she was mad at him. She was mad at Will for laughing. And so Will had to recoup himself.
nothing.
And
I think she was mad all the way around. I do. I think she was mad all the way around. And this is my other thing that I'm going to say. Will has been squeaky clean his entire career. We've never seen him act, we ain't never seen Will act out of pocket. Never.
okay, like that. Okay. Let's just be
What
clear.
you mean?
Because there's been allegations about him, but like I'm talking about like squeaky clean. What do you mean?
Allegations.
Yeah.
But did he gay? But
Yeah.
that
So
ain't
image. Here, you got Brandon on your side. She said his image.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm talking about you've never seen him act out of character. His sexual habits, that ain't nobody's business. What I'm talking about, you've never seen him act out of character. He's always been respectful, you know, he's always been a gentleman.
Hmm.
And everybody that's watching this, everybody that's breathing has had a less than stellar moment in their lives that they wish they could take back. So why are we harping on this man for this? Yeah, he fucked up and it was but this is the thing. It was on a grand scale because yeah, we was at the Oscars. We, we wish it was a different time or a better time because this was the first Oscars that was produced by, black folks and all of that stuff. However, Chris Rock is known for super duper edgy, in your face, get up under your skin comedy. And that's honestly, I think that's why he wasn't even tripping because he knew he probably surprised that he ain't get it before now.
The guy said, I think he was mad that it took so long for this Oscar. Awkwardly Real says she was mad and hurt. She rolled her eyes and actually crossed her legs, which shows her uncomfortability. She was uncomfortable. Africa says we got to see two things stigmatized: the fragility and the vulnerability of a black woman and the power of the black man to defend their black woman at any cost. So,
And we saw the fact that, and this was the great thing for me, the greatest takeaway. Both of them at the end, it was a genuine apology. It was a genuine acceptance. He didn't press charges. They shook hands, and I think that they're gonna be able to go forward from this.
okay. Africa says the world wasn't ready to see that. So, um,
The world ain't ready to see a whole lot of stuff.
they're not. They're not. So I was listening to the radio the next day, and I really wanted to hear what people were going to say because I knew that we were going to talk about it. We tend to talk about the hottest topics that are going
Yeah.
on, and we really try to stay abreast of things that are happening. And so they got up there and they said, well, Will only did that because he knew he could punk Chris. That was one of the things. And so for me as a black man, hearing other black men on a black radio station talk about, oh, he just did that because he knew he could punk Chris. If it was,
No, no, because he ain't know, like Chris ain't know what he was gonna do. He ain't know what Chris was gonna do back.
right. And so he was
You
just like,
know?
they were just like, had it been Dwayne The Rock presenting an award, if it had been Snoop Dogg or somebody like that, he wouldn't have got up there and slapped him. He wouldn't have did that. And
Well,
so
they
then,
wouldn't have said what Chris said, because
right.
people always, it's so easy for people to say what they would have done, and
What's
they ain't
up,
never been
Tim?
in that fucking situation.
Right. And so Tamara, what's up, girl? So then, they kept going back and forth with that. And so they were saying, he went back to the slave master thing. That was so disrespectful what he did. He degraded him as a black man because, the slave masters, they would always slap the slaves. That's how they got him into submission. They'd slap him, and then he was just like, and then got over there and yelled at him like he was a slave and stuff. So that's some of the way that people are perceiving this, that because Will walked on the stage and slapped him, and then Chris Rock was up there like, yes, sir, like he didn't fight back, so they were saying, oh, Chris is a punk now because Chris got
That
punked
don't
by.
mean he's a punk. Sometimes to me, it take more strength to not engage, because yeah, that wasn't no easy thing. Because reflex would have had me. I probably would have went into a windmill. Challenge.
Oh, Africa says it was a man walking straight up to a man. He didn't shoot him, no sucker punch him. He didn't shoot him, not sucker punch him. So this is the thing, Africa. Do you feel like that Will should have waited, or did he act when it? So are you one of those people? Let me ask this question. My mama always told me, wherever you show out at is where I show up at. If you show
Mhm.
out, I'm gonna show up there. And that was the mentality that I had for a long time. And then, and going to church and trying to be saved and loving the Lord, I used to confront people right where they show out at. And so I would always get in trouble in church. They would always tell me, Reverend Lamont, you can't do that. Well, I was just a minister at the time. Minister Lamont, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that, because it puts out this perception that you are just angry, and
That's
you just
that's the problem. Everybody worried about appearances
that's what
instead of just being their authentic selves. And in that moment, that's how he felt. No, no, it wasn't right, but it was a real feel.
Okay, so it was a real feeling. So we can all agree that it was a real feeling. Okay, so we've all agreed. Sorry for Chris, but oh well.
Yeah.
Right, reflection. His reflex didn't kick in. It didn't kick in. Drayton, you're right. And so then you have to look at that. You have to look at that.
Or he probably realized squeaky clean Will, like, this nigga mad. I,
Tamara said,
I
Will
don't
should
think I wanted to go no further than it already is. So he might not have wanted to escalate any further. You, you know, you
well,
know, who knows what was going on in anybody's mind at that moment.
say again, Brandon, because I want you to see this one part. I really want you to pay attention to how Chris.
All right, I'm a.
あら、どうなんでしょうか。
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
ウィル・スミスにやられました。
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's
G.I. ジェーン
name
のジョークだったん
out
で
your
す。
fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? I could, okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television.
テレ
Okay.
ビ史上
So two things.
It was awkward.
It was
That was
awkward.
awkward. He was embarrassed. It's a lot of things that he felt in that moment, I'm sure.
And his face was still stinging. Did you say? And I could really.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, he hit him hard. I just get them smacks from my mama as a child. I know.
Will Smith is not squeaky clean. Will has smacked a reporter in the past for touching his face. I probably would hit somebody for touching my face too.
Okay, that's okay. But
Brandon came back awkwardly, and he said the reporter actually tried to kiss him.
well,
And
shit,
that's-
I would have smacked him too. That ain't squeaky clean. That's self-defense.
Right. Will was
So
fed up.
he is squeaky clean.
He made a statement on Will and Smith and Jada then 6 years ago. So I'm sure. And so then here's the other piece of this, Mimi, that I wanted to get in. So what if it played out differently if Chris popped him back? What would have happened? That's what
We don't know because it didn't.
Good, but the first thing that the white people would have said, these niggas fighting on stage.
But guess what? This is what I want us to get to the point. Fuck what white people think. Fuck them. Why are we always worried about what the fuck they think?
Oh my
Fuck what
God.
they think. They gonna talk about us regardless. They don't like us regardless. We had a fucking black president. It doesn't matter. To them, a black man is president is still a nigga. It doesn't matter. I want us to get to the point where we just stop. What they gonna think? Fuck what they think. Fuck them.
You know who you sound like right now? If I could take you, you just replayed so many management meetings that I have with Kim and Elena at work. You
Yeah.
sound like Kim. Kim be like, I don't care what the white people. I don't care.
Because they're gonna think what I don't care how dignified, how many degrees you got, how how you live your life, it doesn't matter. If folks if they see you a certain way, it doesn't matter what you do. So when are we gonna stop trying to impress them?
I agree. I agree that we have to get to a point where we stop trying to impress people in general. People in general, because there's some of us that are still trying.
Especially white folks.
Oh, what's up, Lakita? Lakita said, I hope we talking about the white people. So we are talking about everybody. Drayton says she right though. So listen, Tamara said, I agree with her. Everybody's saying that they agree with you, Mimi. And I think that we have to get to a place to where we get to a place where we don't care what people are saying. All people. He should have did it in a different way, in my opinion, because he's a public figure, but he is human. So then
He should have. It's a lot of things that I wish that I've done and I've said that I wish I would have done differently. But however, I got to take it on the chin. I did it. I got to own it. I got to accept what come with it. Just like my mom always taught me, you could choose your truth, but you can't choose your consequences.
you can't.
Period.
Not. And so with this thing with Will, people are saying, because he's a public figure, he should have held himself in a different standard. He's a millionaire.
No, he's a man. He's fallible.
He is a
Period.
man. He is a man. But then this is my
But
thing.
these the same people that put the pastors up on a pedestal. They still a man. When they eat, they still shit. They still put their damn pants on one leg at a time, just like you. They are not God. He is an actor. He's an accomplished actor. He's a rich man. He's not God. He is still a man. Period. And everybody, I don't give a shit who you are, have awakened probably on the wrong side of the bed. It was just like, you know what? Nobody better not say nothing to me today, or they gonna get it.
Right.
Everybody's had them days, and maybe he had that day.
Maybe he did. So Lakita says racism, gentrification, slavery, Jim Crow, and so on. Violence is not just physical. They don't allow us to take space as humans, period. I
No,
totally, I totally agree with you. Dakisha Brown, because it had been me, we would have tore up the Oscars up. We listen. I don't think that Will could have walked up and slapped me like that, but I would have never put myself in a place to be slapped like that. Put the
but you
Oscar.
got to realize as well.
So
It's
Kim,
easy to say what you would have done or wouldn't have done. Sometimes you could be shocked, and I believe that Chris was shocked. Like, I know this nigga didn't just hit me.
so
And the
Kim,
fact that Chris's daughters were probably watching the show and he knew that. He just had a few more moments to probably think about it. He handled it. He just handled it better than Will. But I would still say, as a woman, I was sexy as shit.
so Kim says, put the Oscar back in the box, strip it. What did he do that was so bad, Kim, that we need to?
Oh, he earned that damn Oscar. He earned it. He
He earned
earned it.
the Oscar, and so
Because
a
it
lot.
ain't had nothing to do with the behavior. It was not that it wasn't contingent on him giving the Oscar. He earned it. He made a compelling piece of work. It was ingenious, and he did a great job
Mhm.
portraying that person. It was believable. So that's what he got the Oscar for. No, absolutely don't take it back. Shit. If we want to talk about, this moment overshadowing everything, Samuel Jackson got his first Oscar, got his first award ever after 4 million, doing 4 million movies. But nobody even talked about that.
Right. Um, Jay Key says, shocked and not shocked. I don't put something on that ass Ajax couldn't take off. So
It's easy to say what you would have done when it
right.
wasn't true. Very easy.
And Lakita says definitely earned it. And we've been earning Oscars for years and they have thrown us shade.
Absolutely.
I agree. So I don't necessarily think, well, I don't think, let me not say necessarily because that kind of softens it. I don't believe that we should take his Oscar away. That
No,
shouldn't even be on the table because my
no.
thing, we as Black people have fought too hard. And so that's one of the things that people are saying that, oh, he has set the Black people back, the Black generation back.
Hell, he didn't. No, he
No, he
didn't.
did not. He did not. But we don't
No.
talk about how many white people have shown up to the Oscars high, that got up to try to accept awards, that was stumbling and couldn't really speak. That behavior is acceptable. So
But
just
you
because
know why? The thing is, the difference is, and I do understand that part with certain, especially some of our elder Black folk, because they have, we done had to work a lot harder just to get, where everybody else is here. We done had to work extra hard just to get here. So, um, we've had there have been so many successful, white folks that, if you got some what they call a trail of trash, or the honey boo boos, or the whoever her mom is, you got some of them. It's not going to detract from their race as a whole. But child, it just seems like we have so many accomplished, intelligent, Black folk, that are successful, but only people that get that get the limelight is the Tokyo Tonys and the Black Chinas, and so that's what they're talking about. So I do understand to a certain extent what they're saying. However, they didn't set us all the way back. They did not.
I don't think they set us back at all. Kimberly
I want to
says
say set us back to where, because shit, yeah, no,
they don't
they
really have,
didn't set us, huh?
that's what I was gonna say. We never had a place. They never
Yeah.
provided
So
a place.
yeah, that's yeah.
Um, Kim says he must be punished for that. Otherwise, it sets the stage for others to follow suit. I don't necessarily. I think it does set a stage for others not to follow suit. To follow suit. Don't get up there talking about people that you don't know about, that you don't know. Um, is right. Are we okay with violence? Now, I mean, wrong is wrong. No, we're not okay with violence. I don't necessarily we're okay with violence, but I do know that back in the day, we've been, if we talk about NWA, they was talking about shooting the police a long time ago. They've been talking about things, and they've won all kinds of Grammys and everything for their music. Let's talk about Betty Wright. Betty Wright talked about sleeping with somebody else's husband. And we talk about other people. We have our thing has always been to step out and to challenge people. As Black people, we've always stepped out and challenged people to look at us differently. I was looking at the show about what's the little boy that they killed? Oh my God. And it took so long for me to watch it because I felt like it was going to mess with me mentally. Emmett
Emmett
Till.
Till.
Emmett Till. So I started watching the movie about Emmett Till. And even in watching that movie, in the very beginning, the white man comes in and tells this Black woman, oh, you might as well put him in a home right now. From the very beginning, they didn't even
Yeah.
give out a chance to even
Yeah.
see how we're going to develop or what's to develop. But they said in the very beginning, oh, you need to go ahead and put him in a home. So they've always discredited us as Black people, or not even given us a chance to
Limited.
or to maneuver. And so then when I started watching the movie, and as I watched it, I didn't really even finish it because I was watching it at the salon. But whenever I went on to watch the movie and to see how they went into this Black man's house and went around, and they had privilege enough to go in this Black man's house. And
Absolutely.
where is he? Where is he? This little boy from Chicago had a name around town already because of the white woman heard or said what she had to say. She falsely accused him. And so then they went on to lie, got on the stand, lied, made up all this stuff, and that was okay. But then here we have that Black people are living in their truth. They're living in their truth, and then we need to strip them. So that's slave mentality to me. Oh,
Yeah.
you need
No.
that's and I'm not calling you this, Kim. I really, really like your comment and I appreciate you. But for me, that's house nigga mentality. That's the mentality that what was that movie whenever right, what was Django, whenever Samuel L. Jackson was talking about, oh, beat the nigga, beat the nigga, beat the nigga. He did wrong, boss, beat the nigga, that's where we are. Because here we are saying, oh, y'all need to take his award. Y'all need to do this. Y'all need to do this. Beat the nigga, beat the nigga. We're back.
You know what's funny though? I know this ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about.
What?
For folks that's ever watched Django, a lot of people don't realize that Samuel Jackson was the owner of that plantation.
He was.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. But that's all. That's I just want to throw that on in there.
But then that goes back to the Black people that have been given power.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. We've been groomed to hate our own. To hate us.
We've been groomed to hate us. And the thing about it is the Black community, we are the ones that hate the most.
Because we're still looking. It's just like when you have a child that is abused by one parent, that child seeks, that's a desperate approval from that parent that's abusing them. It's the same mentality.
It is.
They want to be accepted and loved and patted on the back and said, you are worthy. Same thing.
Drayton says, transparency moment. I was always the woman who couldn't understand how a woman could be physically abused by a man. I would always add my 2 cents saying, ain't no way, until the day my husband slapped me in the face in the kitchen in front of his sister. I was shocked. I was mortified. To make matters worse, it was the first time meeting her and her husband. I didn't reach for the kitchen knife. I stood there in shock.
Yeah.
I get it, Drayton. You stood there in shock. And it was probably because it was a sense of embarrassment. And it was a sense of saying,
Shame.
Who is this person? I don't know this person.
Mhm.
I don't know this person. He apologized. If God can forgive him, who am I not to? I agree with you, Debbie. What's up, Debbie? This is the first time Debbie said something. You know, normally Debbie would be like, chat, 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 chat. Reality sets back, sets up black, sets us, sets up back. But love and hip hop is a favorite, and for those same judgmental people, it really, really is. They love so this is the thing, and this is what I don't get. We like reality TV.
People are
We want
hypocrites. So why are we shocked?
people to get on there and act the fool. Girl, did you see them? I done read them too. I done did this too. But then here it is because Will Smith went on the Oscars, which is a white. It's white. Very, very, very
Mhm.
white. Not too often. I mean, there are so many black people that should have gotten the Oscars. You remember The Color Purple? When The Color Purple, that's one of my favorite movies. They should have
Honey,
received,
that is my favorite.
right.
Hands down.
They, they,
Yes.
they should have received several Oscars for that. Didn't. Angela
Honey,
Bassett,
if this didn't happen, I wouldn't even known the Oscars happened.
right. Because
Because I
I
don't
thought
watch them.
Angela Bassett, Miss Bassett, should have received Oscars for Tina Turner, Denzel Washington. The only time Denzel Washington got an Oscar is when he used the nigger word. When he started talking about nigger, when it was in Training Day, when he got up there and acted a fool and this is, that's when they gave him the Oscar. When Halle Berry showed her titties, that's when they gave her an Oscar. When she showed her titties, they had been wanting her to do something that was out the box and to do something like that. But when she showed her titties, is when she got an Oscar.
Oh no,
They
no, she did more than because she showed her titties before. No, she got straight. That was just some gutter nasty sex that they had on that daggone camera. That's what that was. However, what I will defend for both of those roles, I didn't like either one of those movies. However, even though they are great, both of them are great actors. Um, but those both the roles that they got were so outside of anything they had ever played. That's probably why they got them.
Kim says, if words are too much and violence behind words isn't, then we are in trouble. So I'm gonna say this. How many times you remember back in high school when somebody used to say your mama?
Mm-hmm.
It was fighting words. They didn't have
Mm-hmm.
to, and my thing is your mama what? But it was your mama. If they said your mama, the first thing you were supposed to do is, oh, they said my mama, we about to fight. We about to fight. We about to fight.
Mm-hmm.
There was always an action behind that word. Back in the day, white people were afraid to say nigger because there was an action behind that word. Even in the church, when you say Jesus, there's an action behind that word. There used to be.
Yeah, I'm
When
about
you
to say I
that,
don't know what you're talking about now.
so for us to say action behind word and then there's a bigger, there's this reaction that's problematic. But my thing is there's always been actions after words. There's always, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, if more people would start, and I don't think that they necessarily have to get up and slap somebody, but if you would start speaking out, a lot of people would stop doing what they're doing. A lot of people would stop doing what they're doing. You wouldn't have pastors getting up in churches and being open enough to condemn people. And this is the thing, Kim. You and I both used to worship together. We've been to church together. We've experienced things together. I remember how they used to condemn people from the pulpit that would get pregnant, and it was okay. It was okay to condemn these women that got pregnant in the church and tell them, oh, you need to sit down. You can't minister no more. You can't do this. God is not with you until you get up and give a public apology. You had to get up into the public and say that I'm sorry.
Child, they would have stopped that as soon as if that happened to me, because I know me. If they would have got me the microphone, they would have stopped that little practice right after that. Mm-mm.
Taz
I
says,
would go on that microphone. I probably got on that microphone cuss everybody out.
Taz says, we were never accepted by white Hollywood, so why care what they think? I mean, I really don't think that. I don't expect the white people to understand what happened in that moment
They're
because
not they're not going to, and they're not supposed to.
they've always degraded our black women. They've always degraded the black women, and they've always abused the black.
Everybody degrades the black woman, even a lot of times the black man.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen, but I'm
Yeah.
going to say you can't
We're
forget.
the most, and that for me, that's why and for me and a lot of other women, because we know that black women are the most underprotected people on this planet. When in that moment, even though he could have handled it 100 different ways,
Mhm.
it was just in that moment, for that second, you saw a black man defending a black woman.
You know, Africa says it's like a good parent disciplining their child for getting into major trouble. Then the parent gets in trouble with the law for disciplining their child. It was necessary, but it came at a cost. Um, I agree with you, Africa, wholeheartedly. There have been so many times that we as black people, we have it harder. I had a conversation with my son on yesterday. He'll probably get mad at me for telling this story, but the school called, and when they called, it was a black man on the other line, older black man, and he was just like, "Mr. Ford," and I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "I've never had any problems out of Josiah, but today I had a problem with Josiah." He says we were having a conversation. We were having a discussion in government. We were having a discussion, and during this discussion, Josiah got up. Josiah got up and went to the door, and while we were talking, and he says, so I immediately stopped and I told Josiah, come outside in the hallway. And I said to Josiah, that's disrespectful what you're doing because there's no movement in my class while we're talking and all this and that. So he went on with his story. And so I was just like, I didn't raise my child to be disrespectful. So I'll handle it. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it when I get home. I'm on my way home now. I'll deal with it. So my first thing is because Jacoby, still dad, I called Jacoby on the phone. I was like, hey, listen, the school just called. This is what happened. So we called Josiah on three-way. We get Josiah on the phone, and Josiah, of course, has another story because the man says Josiah handed a cell phone out the door. And so I was just like, a cell phone? So he letting other people use his cell phone? That's problem one. Problem two is, why are you getting up walking whenever there's instruction going on? Why are you getting up anyway? Because we tell you to sit down. So why are you getting up anyway? And so Jacoby starts asking these questions on the phone. And Jacoby says, so why were you handing your cell phone out the door? Josiah said, I wasn't handing my cell phone. I was handing a water bottle. I was throwing a water bottle away. The trash can is by the door. So I was throwing this water bottle away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, huh? And so Josiah said, and then he took me outside, Daddy, and he said, brother, what you doing is disrespectful. And Josiah said, so I was just looking at him like, okay, but I didn't do anything disrespectful. I threw my water bottle away. And I said, so son, I want you to get this. And this is a life lesson for you. Perception is everything. The water bottle was, so you could have had, I said, was it that you had your cell phone in your hand at the same time? He said, I did. I said, so to this man, he's looking at you and he sees a water bottle and he sees a phone, but the door is right there. So he's thinking you're handing something out the door.
So why didn't he ask him what he was doing?
Right. But then you have to look at it this way, MiMi, and this is me telling him, just like the police. If the police see you with something in your hand, the perception is that it's a gun. They're not going to say, oh, he got a water bottle in his hand. They're not going to do that. That has been, and I see how you looking, but that's just
the police shoot you if you ain't got nothing in your damn hand and your back is torn and your hands up.
But
so that's not a good example.
Okay, well, I ain't gonna tell you the same thing.
Shit.
I'm just I hate you. I'm just saying that we as black people, we have it harder. We have it harder. But then we have to get to the point, like you said, we have to stop caring what they think, and we have to do what we have to do. Africa said, it's a good parent. When we discipline our children, we get in trouble. The police are often called because white people don't understand when we beat our kids or we spank our kids or we discipline our kids, how we see that people cuss their kids out and go crazy to them. To some people, that's
that's
abuse.
because they kids shoot schools up. Our kids don't do that shit.
But then like today,
Because that's them timeout kids.
right. But like today, you said to me, my kid sent me the coupons for Subway.
Oh, that shit was fun. That shit was fun
Right.
as hell.
And you said, I'm not buying anything.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
not spending. And for some people, they would have said, "Oh, she's abusing those kids. They only want a Subway."
You know what I say? I said, fuck that. That boy got that $450 on his take on debit card. You want 3 large subs for $17? It's such a damn deal. You go back. You got it. I pay my employees. They my employees. As Uncle Sam say, I can write their asses off $12,000 each. I pay them well. So you want damn sub? Even though I got food in there, you go buy the shit. That ain't abuse.
But to some people, that would look like abuse.
Fuck them damn people. Okay. Shit.
Oh my gosh. But they would say, "Oh, they're hungry. They must be hungry." He took pictures, that because that's how people start thinking. Oh, he must have been hungry. He found coupons to make it affordable, and he reached
If
out.
they see his chunky ass next to my chunky ass, it's just like somebody, it's like me telling somebody I'm anorexic. They're gonna look at me like, bitch, you just got finished eating. It's the same thing with him. The same.
I so love you. So there's mixed reviews about this Will Smith thing.
But that's the thing. That's the great thing about, and that's what I love about our show. That's what I love about people, and that's why I love interacting with people. I love that everybody doesn't think the same way or react the same way, because if they did, it would be boring as hell. I love to have different perspectives. I love to hear, because I heard other people's, the one person said, and I had never heard of this. She said, Joy Behar off of The View. She said she read his book. And she said it was part of his book because his mother was abused by his dad. So in her eyes, she said maybe because when he saw his mother get beat by his dad as that 7-8-year-old child, it was nothing he could do. He felt powerless. But in this moment, he was standing up for his mama and all women. I said, so I mean, you got so many, even though it might have been a reach, it might have been, but these are still, these are still different perspectives on this situation.
Being a person that was abused, molested, and all of those things, I think that plays a part in one's professional and adult development. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Whenever that's just a whole nother story. Wow. That's deep, Mimi. We're gonna leave that there. We're gonna come back to that. Final thoughts. Brandon is kicking us out the room. He said final thoughts. So we got to
I know we did. This thing was, we might have to do a part 2 to this one, because this thing is good here.
I want to say this before I give my final thoughts. I appreciate everyone's opinion. I never want a person like that. I'm attacking you for your opinion. Kim, you have stern beliefs that his Oscar should be stripped. I don't want to take away from your feelings. This was just a conversation. So I never want people to feel like that they can't say what they want to on our show. Feel free to say what you want to say. It's just an opinion. We're all having conversation. It's good, productive conversation.
Absolutely.
So final thoughts is I want you to continue to speak up.
Yeah.
Continue to speak up. When you see something that's wrong, I think that it's okay to speak up about it. Be able to articulate how you feel. Never get into the mindset that you have to conform to someone else's ways, because you're your own individual. You don't have to conform to anything that deals with another person. You only have to deal with you. Now, if I was to bring the mustard seed ministry into this, I would say that every knee has to bow. Every knee has to bow, meaning you have to bow for yourself. She hates it when I do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Every knee
I'm
has to.
taking communion doing the mustard seed.
You are red wine, and every tongue must confess that He is Lord. Meaning you have to confess it for yourself, and you have to bow for yourself. So that means that you take up for yourself, and you defend yourself, and you love yourself, and you be yourself. Because at the end of the day, it only matters about you. Those are my final thoughts. Mimi, you go, girl.
And I'm a piggyback off the mustard seed. Because just like you said, every knee shall bow and every tongue confess. It ain't just the nice part of the Bible. It's parts of that Bible where they put that bitch down and they got busy. Because sometimes for principle, you got to fight. I ain't saying it's right. Sometimes it's an eye for an eye. Period. Point blank. Because that's all some people understand. And what I will say about this, I'm not saying that Chris Rock won't never tell another won't push the envelope, but he gonna always think. You don't think next time you say some shit.
Listen, follow on Montee and Mimi Facebook. Follow us again on Instagram, In the Chair with Montee and Mimi, and YouTube Live. We want to check, y'all. Can y'all help us get a check? Mimi ain't working at the MGM no more.
I'm a free agent again.
Yeah, she a free agent. And listen, I could always use an extra coin. So follow us on YouTube.
Who can't?
Share us on YouTube. Listen, we love y'all. Can't wait to see you next week. We'll be in person. Mimi, next week we're in person.
Oh, yeah,
girl.
yes, we will. Yes.
We'll be in
I'm gonna bring us some different wine too.
Yeah, reading letters. So send your letters in. We are excited about next week. Listen, good night, peace and soul.
I want the church lady to write in again. I love y'all too. I do want to write in again.
Good night.
I got something to say. I got something to say.